Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews. This is, I think, our 12th. Somewhere we've got about a dozen of these. This is fun. I'm just having so much fun doing this because as I'm pulling things out of these boxes and putting them back in the shelf here, I'm finding stuff I haven't seen. Because, you know, my shelves here, I've shown you this before, but these are double depth. So the stuff that's like in front, let me see if I can do this a little. There, that's easier to see down here, right? They're double depth. Let's pick this one. Oh, here we go. This one. I mean, you'll take my word for it, right? There, see? Does it matter? Can you see here? Like, see, double depth. Anyway, trust me. They're double depth. And the stuff that's in front, I naturally see. The stuff that's in back, well, when it was alphabetical, I knew it was there. Now, who knows? And it's all randomized in boxes. Let's just get to it, shall we? I pulled out three things. Bach! Sonatas and Partitas with Arthur Grumiaux. This used to be a major find because Arthur Grumiaux wasn't like complete, but now there's a whole Grumiaux edition that came out, and that box is sitting right up there on top of the rack. There he is. Hi, Arthur. How you doing? So you get these again. This was a classic version of the Bach Sonatas and Partitas, fabulous version, which I almost never listen to because solo violin music drives me crazy. But I can listen to one of these things at a time, never more than that. But I do, and when I do listen to them one at a time, I listen to Milstein, I listen to this. Oh, it's just so great. I mean, you know, if you can just appreciate great violin playing, and for 15 or 20 minutes, it's tolerable, and this is much more than that. This is great musicianship. So there you go. That's number one. Number two, oh yeah, Delius with Mackerras, the 2-disc set on Decca. Orchestral works. Now, Mackerras is simply the best Delius conductor since Beecham. He used Beecham's edition. He was smart, and, you know, he was such a smart guy that way. But he really was, because Mackerras had that amazing ability to make any piece he conducted flow. And he did that with his Delius. It never stagnates. And he did a wonderful series of recordings for Argo back in the day when Argo existed. And you get a lot of stuff here. You ready? Brig Fair, In a Summer Garden, The Walk to the Paradise Garden, The North Country Sketches, one of those late masterpieces. It's gorgeous. The Florida Suite, 2 Aquarelle, On Hearing the First Cuckoo in Spring, Summer Night on the River, and Dance Rhapsodies 1 and 2, with the Orchestra of the Welsh National Opera. This is a wonderful Delius selection, and, you know, I listen to it all the time. I really do. You know, Delius is one of those composers that is hit or miss, and, you know, he's an acquired taste. But if you're going to acquire the taste, this will help you. Because, you know, Beecham's performances, of course, are wonderful, and there's some excellent ones by people like Barbaroli and Hickox and others, and the choral works and operas are a whole nother world. But for the orchestral stuff, you'd be very hard-pressed to do better than Mackerras here on Decca. So that's a wonderful set. And last but not least, Mozart. The Mozart Dohnányi late symphonies. They're as good as sell. I've said this before. I love these performances. But, you know, they were issued, you know, how to get people not to buy something. It's Mozart and Webern. Now, the Webern performances are really some of the best Webern performances ever recorded, maybe the best. I have never heard a better 6 pieces for orchestra or 5 pieces of the Passacaglia. I mean, they are amazing performances. And the idea of putting it with Mozart is such a do it on paper kind of idea. First Viennese school, second Viennese school. Get it? So they must go together historically or something. No. It's not a good idea. But here it is. It's out of print, of course. 3 discs. You get Mozart Symphonies 35, 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, and Webern, the Passacaglia, the 6 pieces, the 5 pieces, the symphony, and the variations opus 30. And it's a really sensational thing. Now, Decca took the Webern disc, the Webern pieces, and issued them separately. And they were available for about 35 seconds, and they were deleted instantly, and nobody knew about them. And it's a great Webern disc, probably my favorite. I've talked about that too. And they just took the Mozarts and trashed them somewhere. Who knows where they wound up? We desperately need a Dohnányi Cleveland box. It should have everything he did except his Mahler, which was horrible. But almost everything else was terrific, and we need a box. And we need to hear these Mozarts separately because they are amazingly glorious Mozart recordings from an orchestra that had one of the all-time great traditions of playing Mozart. I mean, under Sell and subsequently, they really knew how to play Mozart. And Dohnányi knew how to conduct it, and they are great. Absolutely great. So there you go, friends. That's 3 random reviews. I hope you enjoy them. There will be many more to come, maybe in a few days. I think we've done a dozen of them, and it's time for a little break, possibly. And we'll see where we come up a little bit later on. In the meantime, keep on listening, and thank you so much for joining me.